Welcome to Coffee with Joy. I'm your favorite host, Joy. So excited to have you all in the studio today. Well, today we're talking about brand building. Why is branding so important? Well, I'm so excited just to show y'all two clips, and then I have my guest Sterling as we're talking about branding. But first, have you ever recognized, or when you're deciding to build a brand, have you ever thought about color? Why color plays a hard part? Keep in mind the clip you're about to see, no pun intended. Check this clip out.
Red is a complex color for branding, especially in luxury. From a consumer psychology perspective, over the last decade we've been taught that red means no consistently through mobile interaction design. The red button hangs up a call or connotates a notification, a strong contrast to the other cultural connotation of luck and prosperity. Red has become one of the most ubiquitous colors for mainstream branding. Coke, Netflix, Pinterest, YouTube, McDonald's, Target, red has become the color of availability. This is partially why we see it so rarely now in modern luxury, except for performance connotations. Ferrari on the track, Wolf Range in the kitchen, brake calipers popularized by Brembo and Porsche. But even Valentino, where red is at the heart of the brand, you can barely find any of it on the website, and the social media feed it's spare at best. They've toned it down to extremely subtle online, and I'd be surprised if they don't embrace pink further in the future and leave red purely to the product. Cartier is still going strong though. It's worth it as you design and develop to think about the niche connotations of color. If you are going to use red, here's a few of my favorites, starting with this gradient, and all of these are hitters that are worth a bookmark.
Before you ever think about starting a brand, think about the colors and why the colors are very important. As next, have you ever thought about your symbol? Why certain things that you buy, why they do certain things? Let's check out this clip.
Branding secret you never heard before. Great brands find one word to describe themselves. This helps you to simplify your brand, enables you to stand out among all other choices, and makes it easy to remember your brand. To find that one word to describe your brand, make a list of adjectives that describe the core benefits and feelings of your brand. Then choose one word and tailor every marketing and advertising effort to reflect that one word. This is going to make your brand memorable.
Some great tips here. Wow. Well, I'm so excited to have my guest Sterling, who's in the building. Hey, Sterling, how are you? He's here. Hey, Sterling. So excited to have Sterling as we talk about brand building and much more. So keep in mind, you want to make sure that you focus in, ask much questions. So after these messages, we're going to talk to my guest Sterling.
Our mission focuses on showcasing local and global talent of all ages on and off the field. We will strive to inspire, educate, and bridge the divides through our media collaboration. Our goal is to give student athletes and coaches the platform to let their talents be seen and a platform for the community to let their voices be heard. This is the Union Media Group.
Welcome back to Coffee with Joy. I'm your favorite host, Joy. So excited again to see you all. Now I have my guest, Brandon Sterling, in the building as we talk about brand building. Hey, Sterling, how are you?
Hey, Joy, I'm doing well. Thanks again for having me in the program. Excited
Of
to talk
course.
more about branding and how important it is.
Yeah, so excited. So before we jump right in, can you tell people a little
Okay.
bit about yourself before we get started into the conversation?
Yes, yeah. So my name, of course, is Sterling McKinley, and what I do is I am a digital marketing consultant and coach. And pretty much I teach small business owners how to use digital marketing and digital skill sets to make more revenue and more sales and how to attract more people to their companies.
Wow. So of course, I know we could talk about so much, right? But as you're working with these companies, why branding is
Yeah.
so important? Because I know that's like Target under the umbrella that you do. Why
Right.
branding is so important?
I think branding is everything, especially in this economy right now. Let's face it, it's saturated. I don't care what you do, what industry and what vertical, if you're a doctor, a lawyer, if you do hair or nails, it's saturated. So I think the only way that as a brand you can stand out for your competition, to have a strong brand. Not only a strong brand visually, but what do people think about your company? What do they think about you? So I think having a strong brand can help you stand out and also reach more people.
Now, in the digital marketing world, like how are you able to set those your clients apart? As you said it
Right.
yourself, is saturated. So how are you able
Mhm.
to set them apart if I'm looking for a client that you're working with? So what are some
Right.
techniques that you able to do?
Yeah, I'll say the first thing is LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is a great place to brand yourself as a personal brand. People get to know you on that site, and also you're talking about business, talking about other things. You're networking, virtual networking. Nothing replaces, in-person meetings, but I do so much of my business, my connections through LinkedIn, through those communications and conversations with various people. So I think LinkedIn is a great place to start. Also, for building your brand online, I think YouTube is huge. Right now
Hmm.
I'm on video. You can see me, you can hear me. Hopefully you like me and that calls you to call me for service. So I think having video is huge. So I recommend that every company also in person is on LinkedIn and also YouTube. And last but not least, don't forget about your website.
Right.
Social media is huge, is important, it's exciting, but don't think that social media replace having a website. So my website is my name, sterlingmckinley.com. So when somebody types in my name on Google, what comes up?
Hmm.
My website. So that branding. So I always say you need to own your digital brand. So one of those steps you
Right.
can do is by buying your name as the domain name. You can create a website, or you can link that domain name to your LinkedIn profile. That's very important. People have to be able to see you. I mean, really, in this digital age, a lot of
Hmm.
times the first interaction somebody has with you is going to be digitally. And even
Yeah.
if they meet you in person, they're still going back when they get home to their office or to their car, and they're going to look you up on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook. So it's so important to have a strong digital brand because it really reinforces who you are and what you're about.
Now, is it good? Now, is it safe to say that it's best to have a
Mhm.
website over your social media? And the reason why I say that because again, we're talking to individuals who started their business, right?
Right.
And they're doing what they're supposed to do in their eyes, but
Mhm.
really not understand there's an art behind the branding, the marketing, in the digital
Right.
space. They really don't know, so they're just going along. But some people don't have a website. So is it safe to say to
Right.
make sure that if you're going to continue to build this brand, is to have the
Mhm.
website. And why is the website so important?
Yeah, the website is so important. Like I said, social media is not here. Everybody's in love with that. But, we've seen the past few weeks, Facebook, Instagram has gone down. They're talking about banning TikTok. The point is that
Mhm.
you don't own social media. At any time, one of these sites can change the algorithm. They can shut down. And what will happen? You will lose all your connections, all your customers. So by having your website, that's the place online that you own and that you can update and change and all those things. So it's so important. I say start off with that home base, have your website, and then go to social media because I believe social media should feed back into your website because
Right.
even on social media, you want to start the conversation and have them come back to your website to book a service, to buy a product or service. So I think it's so important to have that website because that's really your home base online.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because I know quite a few companies who do not have, or startup, let me say that, startup companies don't have a
Right.
website because one, either is the cost, or two, is the cost and probably don't know how to
Mhm.
manage it, or three, is the
Right.
cost, don't know how to manage it or effectively know how to produce it through,
Mhm.
through this digital world because this is
Right.
it. And it's to me what I call your soft resume, right? Because as you
Right.
stated, people will go back and reconfirm or try
Yeah.
to, oh, I met this person. How do I go about this person? But if your
Right.
strong presence is not there, how important? Now, in the piece, you saw that I've done
Mhm.
colors, right? And
Right.
Now, a lot of people they just go, "Hey, green is my favorite color. I'm gonna go with it."
Right.
But why is it
Mhm.
why is it so important with the colors when branding when you're starting with your company or in the process or in your company?
Right. Yeah, I think colors are hugely important. I mean, for so many reasons that we all know, but I'll take myself example. So I've spoken on stages across the country to people
Hmm.
about digital marketing. And one thing I noticed about all the speakers, everybody was the same.
Yeah,
Not only in the delivery style, but the way they looked. They wore black
yeah,
and brown and gray suits, and this was boring. So about
yeah,
5 years ago, I said, you know what? I'm going to be different. So literally, my suit is this is my suit. It's different.
yeah.
It's
I
bright.
noticed.
It stands out. It has window panes. It's different. And this suit, I have a few the suit, but I wear this. If you go to my YouTube channel, go to my
Yeah,
LinkedIn, Facebook, you'll see the suit over and over again. Why? Because it's a way to brand myself. I stand out.
yeah,
So when people see me sometime in public, they don't even know me. Oh, you're that guy. They always wear that suit. Or
yeah,
people, when I have a call like this, somebody will say, "Oh, where's your suit?" It's to the point now where people will see me at a family function and say, "Where's your suit?" People
yeah,
think that I'm always wearing a suit. So once again, it goes back not only to wearing a suit, but just being different and that branding
yeah,
standing out. And then, all the emotions that colors can evoke. And it depends what you're trying to do. If you're trying to inspire or sell, but like you
yeah.
saw in the video, look at brands. You see a lot of blue logos, red logos.
Mhm.
These all colors mean something. And I think it goes
Yeah.
back to us as people, as children. There's colors
Mhm.
for a reason. When you go
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the market, there's a reason why the cereal boxes for kids are on the lower shelves and they're bright and they're colorful. Why? Because colors captivate you, they pull you in. So your brand has to be that. And I gave a speech a few years ago, and it was called um, uh, pretty much how you have to be visually stunning. You have to
mm,
stand out visually. You have to catch my attention. I'm not saying
yeah,
you have to wear, a pink suit with polka dots. No, but find some way to stand out. Find someone to be different. That's gonna put people you in. And also too, it makes people remember you that way. They
yeah,
remember your glasses. They remember your hairstyle. They remember you wear a suit or whatever your branding is. It goes so far. So I think color is so important. And you can see that. I think also too,
mhm,
we don't think about how much color influences us.
yeah,
But look at your brands, fast food brands. There's a reason why the logos are the same color and they pull you in.
right.
So color is very important.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I even me starting coffee with joy, of course, purple is my favorite color, as we all know it
Right.
means royalty, but it goes deeper, right? And
Right.
it's just the surface of what many people know. And
Hmm.
now that I'm into the color scheme, into the
Right.
logos, right? And trying to understand like, wow, it really has significance behind it. But of
Hmm.
course, if you choose to educate yourself in that arena, you will understand why. So now I
Right.
do more color palettes, right? Because it
Hmm.
does speak to the individual, of course, if you're trying to come off aggressive or soft or hard. So that's the reason why I ask, in your search with your clients,
Right.
do you find their whole image to be aligned with what they're doing, or is it all over the place? Because it's I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's
Right.
sometimes it's hard to stay focused online,
Right.
just being your same, because sometimes you can look at yourself and say, am I boring?
Right.
Is this
Hmm.
boring? Is the people getting tired of seeing this over and over? Have you ever find your
Right.
clients to fall into that realm where they just like over the place and you're trying to draw them in to
Mhm.
find one thing?
Yeah, I would say yes and no. There's some people that have a
Mhm.
very strong brand that's very defined, and there's some people that are all over the place.
Yeah,
And I say, I think that happens because we try to be a jack of all trades and be everything
yeah,
to everybody, but you need to find your thing and stick to it. I've been doing digital marketing now for 15 plus years, and
yeah,
all my friends say, get into real estate, do this, do that, but I ignored all of the distractions and I stayed focused. And I
right.
believe that focus and being consistent has led me now to working with Google, the Department of
Yeah.
Defense, other companies. So I really think you have to be consistent. And I would say too that your personal brand, it should be the same both offline and online.
Okay.
You go to a
Yeah.
conference and I meet you, and then I go to social media. It should be the same. It should match
Yeah.
up. So you want to make sure that branding is consistent. And I would say think about it could be one word, 3 words. What are the feelings that you want to evoke when people think about you, when they say your name? But make sure
Mhm.
you're consistent with that brand. you talked about before, your website, your logo, your
Yeah.
letterheads, all these things need to be branding needs to be integrated through the brands, because what happens is no matter where that potential customer sees you on your website, social media, video, it should be the same experience, the same branding. And once again, that being consistent leads to profitability, leads to credibility. So because you're
Yes.
showing up again and again at the same time and say, you know what, that person is trustworthy. I can go to that person because they know who they are. And the big part about it too is that people, they want a expert. So you honing in on your skills and craft, your gifting, that's
Yeah.
going to attract people that want to work with you. So I think it's really important to define that brand. And if you don't have a defined brand, sit down, write out
Yeah.
what are the words that describe you? What are the things that you want to
Mm.
stand for? And, I would say too, branding is a never ending process. It's never
Yeah.
done. You're always refining your brand, updating it. So it's not something you do one time and you're finished. It's something you have to keep working on.
Yeah. And it's like you're ever evolving. Of course, you heard the term rebranding,
Mhm.
constantly rebranding. And when
Right.
people fall into that, on your end, what do you take when people say, I am
Mhm.
rebranding? Like, what does that mean to you, or what have you noticed within your clients when they rebranding?
Yeah, it could be update. They could see, hey, my logo looks dated. My color scheme is aligned with what I'm doing. It's time for a reset. Myself, it's time for some new headshots because I have old photos from 3 or 4 years ago. So if you look, and media personalities, the people that stay fresh, the singers, the actor, entertainers, they're
Hmm.
always updating their image. They're rebranding. They're still staying true to their core being, but they have
Yeah.
to. You have to evolve. You have to update it.
Yeah.
It's like the singer that's always partnering with a new upcoming artist. Why? Because they want to stay current and stay
Yeah.
fresh. So, like I said, it's something you constantly have to work on, because you still want to remain who you are, but you
Yeah.
make sure that you remain current. For example, a few years ago, pandemic hit, everything changed. Um,
Yeah.
I took the opportunity to really hone in on video, buying a nice camera, buying lighting equipment, because I saw how things were changing. I'm still the guy that
Hmm.
I was 4 years ago, but now I do
Uh-huh.
more things with video. So it's all about really just keeping your ear aware of the new changes, what's going on in the market environment, the economy, and make sure you can shift then your brand to meet that.
Wow. And I only ask that because, some people, I guess when they say I'm rebranding, some people
Mhm.
internalize that you just start from scratch. You completely
Right,
erasing everything what you're doing, and not just going in and not just looking into certain subtitles, rather just changing the logo or just changing, the color scheme just to make it
right,
brighter and just being innovative and up to date. So I think a
right.
lot of people misconstrue what rebranding is. So that's the reason why I ask, and sometimes there's some things may sound simple. Sometimes we make it harder than what it is because we
Right.
allow the visual, allow people to internalize the definition for us without
Mhm.
us saying, oh, okay, it could just be that. It's just time for a new
Right.
logo or just time to change the color. I want to soften a little, instead of being so harsh or just want a difference. It's like,
Right.
mm, let's redecorate the house,
Right.
completely. But we didn't, it's still the same house. So that's why I asked. So after
Right.
these messages, we're going to continue to talk to my guest Sterling as we talk about we're going to listen to a clip as we talk about refurbishing the items that you have so that when you come back, you don't have to keep working. It's like working smart and not working harder, right? So after these messages, we're going to continue to talk to my guest Sterling. Latest news, today's news, current news, gossip news, you name it. I am your host with Coffee with Joy as I share any up-to-date news that's taking place around the world. But if you would like to check it out, please make sure you go to my YouTube channel, Coffee with Joy, where I share the latest topic. I am your host with Coffee with Joy with today's topic. Welcome back, everyone. And please make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow Coffee with Joy. So we're going to listen to this quick clip, and we're going to go right back to my guest, Sterling.
So when you have a good piece of content, either you have to be creative about how you break it up and how you, disseminate that to your clients. One of my big things too is, record everything. That video can be posted so many places. So I guess the big thing too is making content that's multi-purpose. So if you're creating a blog, if you're creating an infographic, a video, find ways to use that video again and again.
such a great piece because I think some people say, well, if I have this in September 22nd of
Right.
2020, you could bring it up to 24 because it may
Hmm.
be the same video, but it's a different caption and it matched the
Right.
time. How important
Hmm.
is it for individuals to really look at their content to refurbish? And what is your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's. I think it's very, very important. Even that clip you just showed, that video was, I
Mhm.
think, 5 years ago. So, but it's funny. Sometimes I find myself, was saying the same thing 5, 10 years ago. But like you just said, it's
Mhm.
about adding a new caption to it. So when I posted it now on social media, I changed the caption. I changed the
Mhm.
post link to match what's going on now. So I think it comes down to, like I said in the video, repurposing your content.
Yeah.
Taking the time to create video content, pictures, or posts, fine. Find ways to use those things over and over again. So I have, pictures, videos from years ago that I've just put a new spin on them and used them again. And, it's really important in business because the thing costs money. You want things that are evergreen that you can use again and again.
Mhm.
Something that's really important. And then it becomes easier to create content. One of the
Yeah.
challenges that, like, we have social media is creating the content. But um, you know, you can use the same content over again, different places. So it's all about
Mhm.
finding ways to recreate content. For example, this interview now, this thing is 30 minutes long. We can break this up into minute clips, into
Yeah.
30-second clips, and put it on social media, put it on YouTube. It could continue to grow. So you really want to find ways to be creative in ways that you can break up content and reuse it.
I totally agree because um, just be able to just take what you have and just look at it, and it doesn't have to be long and drawn out, correct?
Right.
Because again, the whole data scheme, and of course, you want people to really be in tune to what you have to say, and of course, I know some people may not watch a whole length of video, so they take parts.
Right.
So if you can find that part, it really adds into it. Now, do you
Mhm.
find it hard for your clients to even refurbish or how to reuse their old posts or old pictures or old videos that they have? Do you find that to be a problem?
I think it can be a problem, but it's just because they don't know any better. They never thought about, oh, let me create content that I use again. And one thing I learned too is that when you're creating content, go into it with the thought, the plan to reuse it. So then
Hmm.
you'll say certain things, a certain way, because you're going into, okay, I'm going to record this talk at this conference, and I'm planning to use it in the different spaces. So a video you speaking that can be split
Hmm.
up into shorter posts. You can transcribe that audio from that. You can make it into a blog post. You can make animations from that. It's so many different things you can do. So I think it's really exposure. People just think it has
Yeah,
to be new and exciting, but you can find ways to reshare content.
yeah, and also just to add to that as well, I just be able to have, like, for example, of course, I'm into blogging, into fashion, all that, but just having, you don't have to post like one picture on one
Right.
page throughout your cross, just taking several and going across your various social media so that it's still being fresh, even though it's the same
Right.
picture, different poses, same outfit, but just
Right.
utilizing it. Because I think once you get into the business and really
Mhm.
trying to make sure that your business is visible and it could be, the hot run traffic, you realize, okay, the branding is very important.
Right.
How can I be lively on digital? And I think
Mhm.
a lot of people do not understand that or choose not to. Because again, yes, we understand this revenue. You have to, put money into it.
Right.
But how do you walk someone through it who do not understand or who just doing their business but still lacking that visibility? How do you help someone to overcome that so that their brand or their business could, be seen or move up within the digital world and
Right.
beyond?
Yeah, that's a great question. I want to piggyback on what I said before. On
Hmm.
social media, on average, only 10% of your fans or followers see your post. 10%.
Right.
So there's some people that never saw that post. So that post is new to someone. So that's why
Yeah.
you shouldn't be afraid to reshare content because social media is in a way where everybody doesn't see that post. But for people that are struggling with creating their online brand visibility, it's just the way the world's going now. If you look, across business in general, it's all about that person. You look at the company now. the company has a brand, and also the CEO has a personal brand. So it's really good, I think, to be major going forward, that people can see you, they can hear you, they
Mhm.
know what you stand for. Because you're getting them, letting them know who you are. And I believe the main advantage of personal branding is, let's be honest, it's great being on camera and taking pictures, but it leads to more sales. Why?
Yeah.
Because people are getting to know you, know what you stand for, and they want to put a face with the brand. So they can say, "Hey, okay,
Mhm.
that's Sterling, that's Joy. Here's their brand. Now I can trust their brand," because let's face it,
Yeah.
brands are cold and boring. I always tell the story of Nike. Nike is number one shoe in the world, not because they're the best shoes. It's
Yeah.
because they have celebrities. They use
Yeah.
LeBron James' story, Michael Jordan's story. They use their story. So they're using personalities to make their brand
Yeah.
relatable. So that's the power of personal branding. So you yourself, you are a celebrity. You have to put yourself out there, because people are going to be drawn to not only your brand, but only to also to you as well.
Right. And just as you say that, I had someone to ask me, "Are you selling glasses?" Because I have over 100 pairs. And keep in mind, I
Right.
don't have lenses. Okay, so I just like frames. And when I
Right.
see when I do
Mhm.
that, everybody's like, it just pause, you know. And of
Right.
course, I'm known the girl with the glasses, and I don't wear
Okay.
glasses. I just like frames,
Right.
but that's part of my branding. So I make sure, and the more weirder, or if it is a word, odd they look,
Right.
I think it's the
Mhm.
best, right?
Is it
I
better?
That's
Right.
what I try to go after, because I want to know that, hey, be who you are. You know, of course, that's what I like the brand to give off, right?
Right.
Outside of my
Mhm.
name and outside, and of course, I'm always asked, "Do you really like coffee?" Yes, I like
Right.
coffee. Yes, I if I could, I'll probably
Right.
drink it all the time, but I really do like
Okay.
coffee. But I truly understand, really trying to, when I was framing Coffee with Joy, just trying to,
Right.
okay, pause, take a second, and okay, what is the three things that we need to make sure we fall in line? The image, the
Right.
color scheme, and how can we get across people? Of course, when, like myself, reaching out to people, and I find that when they look at, of course, social media first, they say, "Oh, okay, this is like a quote unquote," and I'm just assuming, right, a reliable source, because as I start to, getting guests, they look and say, "Oh, okay," and it's like probably out of 8 out of 10, I get a yes. Versus me,
Right.
just because I'm just reaching out to an unknown. They don't know me and I don't
Right.
know them. I just
Mhm.
see what they're doing. So yes, I
Right.
totally agree. So what do you find? What is like the best thing that you love doing? And since digital marketing, what is the best thing
Right.
that you love most?
Yeah. The thing I love the most is really teaching and speaking about
Mm,
digital marketing, especially to small business owners. Because at heart, I'm a helper. I love to help
yeah,
people achieve something. So teach somebody some digital marketing skills they can use to improve their life, the life of their loved ones, and be more impactful in the community. For me, that does it. Knowing that I made that difference. So
mm,
that's what I love. I love teach people. I love that look in somebody's eyes when they get it, when they put two
yeah,
and two together of how I can use this strategy, this tool online to get more customers for my business. I love
yeah,
that feeling. So really just teaching, speaking, and helping people really understand how they can use social media, digital marketing to really improve their lives and also improve their company. Because what I found is a lot of people just don't know, or
yeah,
they
yeah,
know, but they need somebody to come in and say, "Hey, it's okay. Just take this
yeah,
and this and put this together." And one of the things too is, in digital marketing now and sales, there's so much fluff, so many buzzwords, people are just saying stuff. I try to break things down, people can understand them, so they're relatable and they make sense. And I find once you make somebody comfortable with something, they understand how
yeah.
it's working, the chances of them doing it, increases and
Mhm.
goes up.
Wow, that's phenomenal, because truly, I know, just as when you said someone getting it, I feel great when I find like this aha moment. Like, wow,
Right.
okay, I'm putting two and two together, because I'm into editing, and every time when I find something new, it's like, ooh, okay, this adds to the digital. Okay, this adds to,
Right.
because just trying to be new and innovative, besides just, okay, cut spice here and there. So I truly
Right.
agree. Of course, try to make sure I love this whole digital thing. So as we
Mhm.
bring the show to a close, Sterling, is there anything that you like to share with the individual, that some things, how do you keep yourself going? Because, we're all
Right.
humans, things happen, right? But what keeps you going, whether through a prayer, self, affirmation,
Mm.
or just, your family? What keeps Sterling going in
Right.
this digital world to continue to help people grow?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's a lot of things. First, just the passion. You know, I think people can see that they watch my videos, hear me speak. I really enjoy what I do. So that's the first thing, because there are some times when you get tired of business, you may lose a client, you have a bad day, but at the end of the day,
Mhm.
I know I meant to do this. I meant to help people, grow the company. So that keeps me going. Of course, relationship with God, my family, my kids keep me going as well.
Yeah.
But in the day, just knowing that, literally I had an effect on somebody, and that,
Mm.
helping them, improve their life, that keeps me going. Because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, it's great, getting paid to do stuff, getting media press. But literally, when I sit down at night, it's funny. I can close my eyes and I can see all my attendees that I ever talked to. And once again,
Oh, oh,
knowing
wow.
that I help them, that there are people all
Mm.
over the world that use something that I told them to better their life, that's amazing. So that keeps me going, because it really is just about educating and uplifting
Mhm.
people. And the importance of digital marketing, skill sets, and branding is huge, because
Yeah.
a lot of these people are small business owners. And my thing is, like, there's so many things we can do to kind of level the playing field that we just don't
Mhm.
know what to do. So helping people reach their goals, really keeps me going.
Wow. That's good to hear. That's awesome. That's how can they find you if they would like to have, get in contact with Sterling, trying to navigate this digital marketing.
Right.
How can they find you?
Yeah, the easiest way simply is to Google me. Just go to Google, type in Sterling McKinley. Once again, this is branding. This is intentional. You see me on YouTube, on LinkedIn. You see me on Twitter, now X, Amazon, everywhere. You'll see my website, sterlingmckinley.com. On any platform, social media, just type in Sterling McKinley. You'll find my page. So that's the easiest way to contact me. Also on LinkedIn. Once again, just LinkedIn,
Awesome.
search my name, Sterling McKinley, and follow me. Any questions or comments, just send them to me and I'll get back to you.
It's just that simple, people. Just Google. If you didn't hear nothing else, just Google his name and
Right.
you'll find them. So again, thank you so much, Sterling, for being on with Coffee with Joy. So grateful to have you on. And keep
Thank
in
you.
mind, if you would like to be part of Coffee with Joy, please make sure that you follow side, go to our email. Let us know if you'd like to be a guest. And if you'd like to patronize Coffee with Joy, please make sure you follow the Q codes. Any amount would do, of course. Any patronize, of course, we would love to have that. And again, thank you all so much for being on with Coffee with Joy. We look forward to see you all. And of course, as you all know, if it's a weekday or a weekend, it is Coffee with Joy. Until then, live life on purpose. Have a good night.
We kick it like no